Look at that blue sky. We're on the trail. I'm on the road, right? It got me to thinking, man, when I got out here on this trail, decided I wanted to get a little exercise and shoot a video, right? It got me to thinking about, man, when do you go from being a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, road guy who's excited every time he gets on the bus, excited when he hits those stages, and then when do you become an old dude who just wants to stay home? And this realization came to me last night. My wife decides she's going to go out of town. Her and my daughter are going to go somewhere and do something, and I get time by myself to work on my channel or work on my guitar playing or write music or whatever. It's like a vacation for me, right? Now, all the years it took me to, playing in Nashville, and I can go as far back as when I was out in Los Angeles playing in a hair band, Sunset Strip band. When we would get a gig in another town, outside of LA, you learn that people view you in a different light. When you're in the city, whether it's LA or Nashville, and you're a musician, well, you're just one of many, right? You're not anything special. But when you go to a small town or a smaller market or somewhere else where you're different than everybody else, everybody looks at you differently. And you would always get excited because, man, it could be a very real thing. For years playing in Nashville, it wasn't like the Sunset Strip. Moving from LA to Nashville at a time when I moved there, and it was not what you would call a happening place to be. Man, here's the thing, man, and I was nobody. I might have been sort of somebody in LA from times playing in bands. Once I got to Nashville, man, I was nobody. I was back to starting at zero. And, at the time, I had hoped that my girlfriend from LA would move to Nashville and we'd settle down and all that, but that was not to be. So then you find yourself, I think I was in my late 20s, and you're in Nashville, and it took a while to find my feet, and then spending years playing in the clubs, years before I got a chance to go on the road. And of course, the first time you go out on the road, you screw it up. I screwed it up. I talk about it on my channel. There's a whole episode that got thousands and thousands of views about how I got fired for my first road gig, making rookie mistakes. So after I made that rookie mistake, man, it was back to the clubs, bro. Back to the clubs, and no more going to these small towns or playing these festivals and being somebody that all of a sudden, girls pay attention to, right? You're in Nashville, man. You're just one of hundreds of musicians. And so it was late in life when I started playing road gigs and really doing it for years. And so I was an older dude, right, to some degree. But seeing everything with the eyes of a 19, 20 years old, but partially because I probably hadn't matured mentally much since those times. My head was still on the Sunset Strip, right? My brain was still in that mode, rock star mode. But going from, being an older guy, but seeing everything with these, young eyes, it's getting to finally tour and you ride in limousines, ride on tour buses and fly to different states and play different places and meet people all along the way and sign autographs and all that bullshit. All that bullshit. It took so long for me to get to that point. It was never an easy, quick thing. For some people, they move to Nashville and it's a very quick thing and they get plugged in. Man, I was just some dude just playing my butt off in clubs and that was it. And eventually played with the right people and made the right contacts and got offers to play on the road. And like I said, man, I wasn't any spring chicken, but I had a young mentality. But man, it's kind of like in the film Apocalypse Now, where they said, I was waiting for a mission, and for my sins, I would get one. And once I was done with that mission, I would never want another one. And I got to experience playing arena after arena after arena and backstage locker rooms and, thousands and thousands of people. Now I had a good dude in the comments today said, man, imagine the high of being on a Steely Dan gig or playing in Stevie Wonder's band. When that ends, you're never going to achieve that level of musicality and level of gig again, because there is no gig like that. And I pretty much knew, one, that I couldn't keep up the pace of playing that gig and living the lifestyle, a rock star lifestyle. Because by the time I was doing all of that, playing arenas for thousands and thousands and thousands of people, opening up for huge stars, I was like 44 years old, 43, 44. And man, when you're 23 and you eat pizza after the show, the next day it's gone. But when you're boozing and partying like a 20-year-old in your 40s, it was like there's a film. If you let me know the name of it in the comments, but it's about a young rock band, and they get their uncle or something to play drums for the band, and he kind of takes them under their wing and all this. But because he's middle-aged and he's trying to party and relive his youth, he just falls apart eventually. And that's kind of the trajectory of what I was on, right? And it was a tough thing because man, I still loved getting on the bus. There were certain venues, like the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan, of all places, that I absolutely loved playing that place. I absolutely loved that place, man. So old, dirty rock club. That's just friggin' awesome. You feel like a rock star when you play a place like that. But here's the deal, man. Eventually you quit. Eventually you get fired or you quit or your time is done. And I realize now that, man, I really enjoyed being home. And I didn't want to go back out on the road. I didn't have it. Here's the other thing. Once you get married and you have a family. I mean, I get it if you got to make money and that's how you pay your bills. But for me, part of the journey of being out there was, meeting people and making connections. It's where I met my wife. It's that's a big part of the story. One day I'll probably tell that story, but once you're already married and you've got a family, any of the perks other than monetary perks of being a rock star, all that's off the table now. And you start realizing, man, that rock star shit is aging the F out of you, man. It's aging the F out of you, and you can no longer bounce back very quickly. And man, I was in such bad shape after about 2 years on the road that I wouldn't have been able to do this walk. I tried to do a walk like this. Man, my shins were just aching from, I guess, extreme dehydration. And so, man, I'm at the point now in life where a vacation is maybe staying home and having some alone time. A vacation is not having to do anything, not having somebody to take care of, not having to cook somebody breakfast and empty the dishwasher and, get the clothes out of the dryer and all of that, stuff. And I think in my younger years, I probably had plenty of time where I had years of solace and solitude, because nobody really sticks with you a long time when you're a musician. They stick with you for a good time. They're not going to stick it out for a long time. I often think, man, maybe some of you out there, think about some of the girlfriends you maybe had in the past. And you think, man, what is that person doing now? It's weird. It's weird how you can be close to somebody and now be so far away. But I'm thankful. I'm extremely thankful that I met my wife and I have my child, and I don't have to roam anymore. I don't have to go out in search of something or something to fill the void in my life. I mean, that's, if you come to think about it, if you come to think about why people party and why people destroy themselves, because they feel empty inside. And maybe if you realize why you're doing it, maybe you could stop, right? Maybe you could stop. But I don't, man. Now, would I go on the road? Dude, they would have to pay me a ridiculous amount of money, which nobody would be willing to pony up. And I would need white glove service. Here's your guitar, Mr. Henderson. Would you like a cold glass of iced tea on your amplifier, sir? Yes, I think that would be lovely. Well, sir, rightio, sir. Here's your cold glass of iced tea. Now, would you like the fan aimed at you while you play? Yes, I would love to have a nice fan, and we're going to put a nice cushion under your feet as you play, sir. Oh, thank you so much. It would never happen. It doesn't happen like that unless your name is on the marquee. And all that opulence and all those people taking care of your needs and all that. That just costs money, man. That just costs that comes out of your pocket. So I'm thankful, man, to be off the road. I'm thankful, and people don't understand this, man. People can't, man, I can't believe man, your chops are still there, dude. You still got it. Man, you need a gig. And man, and I think about going out there and doing that right now. Just think, man, that's a young man's game. And I think it's important to keep your chops up because opportunity can come. Maybe through this channel, maybe some opportunities will avail themselves to me and I'll get to do more stuff. And I'll be ready for it. That's why I'm out here in this heat right now, roasting. But do I want to be on the road? No. Would I travel a little bit and do some things? Yes. Would I want to be on a tour bus with 15 other dudes? No. Would I do some fly dates? Yeah, I might do some fly dates. Fly dates are not too bad. If you can come home to your family, deal with that. Although, man, flying is a pain in the ass. Man, at some point, you're going to go from being bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, excited about being on the road and playing rockstar games to being an old dude who just wants to keep his ass at home. And that's where I'm at now.